Hey everybody, Anish here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious. Back at you today with one of the most important videos I could ever do a video on, all right? And I am gleefully gonna shatter this one, okay? And that is the long-held myth that the only people who are able to radically succeed in their careers are basically jerks. They're basically a-holes, right? They're basically guys or women who throw common courtesy and decency to the wind. They're not afraid to step over other people. They're not afraid to take crazy risks. They're not afraid to pitch and present, right? And browbeat someone towards getting what they want. And I really want to explode that myth because, among other things, one of the reasons I love being a career coach and I love guiding people towards greater success in their careers quickly is because I see the lie in that every single day. The people that I've seen consistently do the best over time are not that. They're not jerks. They're people who make everything better. They add value in uncommon ways. Their magic is very singular. And so when you look with them, when you work with them, when you see the way they go through life and you see the steps that they take professionally, you're not resentful of these people because you look at it and say, of course, these people should be winning. They should be doing well. They should get a grander slice of the pie because they're giving much more than the traditional person. See, the heart of this is letting go of the idea that getting ahead is a zero-sum game. And the people who don't get it, the ones who think just churn them and burn them, baby. You know what I mean? Every job, if you're not giving me what I need in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, I'm out of here. I don't care about the team. I don't care about you. I'm in it for myself. You know, I believed that for a long time when I started out my career in my teens and my 20s. But that's because I had no good role models. I wasn't exposing myself to good people who had succeeded. And I want to show you in this video some ways that someone like you, who I'm going to assume, like me, you're not a jerk. You're not a type A blowhard kind of person. I doubt you'd be watching a video like that if you were. So what are 3 ways, 3 concrete ways that people like us can win, that compassion can win, that caring can win, that being a nice person, being a good person can actually get you further, faster, and in the long term as well? What are 3 things that you can focus on? So here's the first one, okay? How present can you be? A big problem people have, especially in hiring, especially in trying to find a better role, is they get so locked in their head. They treat the whole thing like some kind of analytical exercise. Well, let me just make it absolutely clear. Even the best thought out opportunity in the world will never be closed on analytics alone. It'll never just be this. At some point, our hearts have to be engaged. But how are you engaging the heart of this? How are you showing people the human being that you are and why there's no one else like you who can solve this problem? If in the interview, all you're doing is you're checking your notes and you're checking your resume, you're desperately trying not to say the wrong thing. You can't do it. It just doesn't work that way, right? So what are some things that you can do to be more present, to allow yourself, you know, Denzel Washington, the actor, said, he's well known for his preparation, you know, how diligent he is. But what he always says is, when I show up on the set, I don't know what's going to happen. Whatever comes from my preparation, it comes. But when I'm in the moment, I respect and honor the situation enough to essentially thrust myself in it and use my instincts to make it up as I go along. We're terrified of that. But our best comes out when we allow ourselves that, when we allow ourselves to show who we really are without necessarily having a plan for it. So here are a couple of things that you can do, okay? 1, use your sensory acuity. When you're in an interview, would you agree or disagree that there's a big difference between someone saying, yeah, things are awesome, we're really excited about it, we're moving forward, versus, yeah, things are great, you know what, it's awesome, it's fantastic, yeah, it's awesome. Clearly there's a difference, right? Sensory acuity means using every sense that you have, right? To pick up on what's not being said, and then to have the courage to say, hey, can we talk a little bit more about that? Can we go a little bit deeper into that? It sounds like there's maybe something going on there. No judgment. I've been in the same situation many a time, right? What can I do? Can we talk a little bit further, right? Sensory acuity picks up on the pauses. It picks up on the gaps. Don't just take everything someone says, especially an employer, at face value. Read between the lines. Get a sense of the tension level. What's being said? What's not being said? Are there games being played in the group interview? Is there jockeying going on? Not only is this going to give you information about the truth of the problem so that you can better arc in, better understand, and thereby get better leverage in the situation, right? Not only is that going on, it's warning you about problems that might manifest were you to take this role, right? Because if there's jockeying and politics going on in the interview room, I guarantee you it's happening 10x when you're actually in there, right? Something that would be probably good to know, no? So that's a huge one, right? Using your sensory acuity to pick up and call out what is not being said. Here's another one. Keep the stories and the answers simple so you can spend more time being present and picking up on what's not being said. For every answer, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't make it up. Every detail in your resume, every story in your background, don't just invent it from nothing. Here's a simple one. Beginning, middle, and end. Challenge or challenges, action or actions, result or results. Simple as that. Structure every answer you give through that lens and then flip it over. How does this relate? How does this tie into what you've got going on? Is this relevant? Did I lose you? Right? These are great ways that you can increase how present you are, because again, that means that you're not in your mind trying to make it all up. You can just say, hey, have I spent enough time on the challenges? Move it into the actions. Enough time on the actions, move it into the result. It's a tremendously effective way to do it. Here's another big point. So we talked about how present can you be, a big area of influence and success that only nice guys have. Here's the second one. How caring can you be? Yes, caring. Guys, I have seen it the hard way. I have seen it the easy way. Difficulties are always there. Challenges are always there. But as long as people know that your heart is pure, as long as they know that you are genuinely trying to help, as long as they know that you are out there looking to make a difference for the right reasons, they will let you off the hook almost every single time. The reason it gets muddy is because someone starts falsifying caring or falsifying compassion, but really we know it's ego. So here are ways in which you can stay in your compassion no matter who you happen to be speaking with, okay? Number one, ask yourself, when someone gives you a weird reaction or challenges you or whatever, ask yourself, have I ever done something like that? Have I ever reacted like that? Have I ever acted stupidly or unwittingly kind of alienated someone even though I was trying to do the best that I could? Have I ever done that? And if that's the case, the second thing I want to say, I would ask you to look at and ask yourself is, what does that mean, right? What does it mean if someone gets defensive about this aspect of a company based on the first 5 minutes? Does that sound like a confident, strong company that has every option at their play? Or does it sound like a company that desperately needs help and is probably going downhill fast, right? Good to explore, no? Right? So to ask yourself, have I ever done this or a version of this? And what does this mean is a great way to give yourself a little bit of detachment. A little bit of detachment from the situation so that before you ramp in and get into fight or flight mode, and it's a pot calling the kettle black here because I've definitely done that. Before doing that, these two questions will help you snap in and ask yourself, what's really going on? The longer you stay in caring, it's amazing how sometimes the harshest personalities in people, on the other side of that, it's like an injured animal, You don't take the bait, you don't start yelling and yapping. And what happens is they become puppy dogs, It's like, all right, great. I can't tell you the number of offers people I've coached over the years have gotten, and I've asked them, hey, how did that interview go? Oh, it sucked. I'm like, what do you mean? We didn't agree on a single thing. You know what I mean? But that's okay because you stayed in compassion, you stayed present, and here's the last one, okay? You stayed on your purpose, okay? You stayed on your purpose. What does that mean? When you're in an initial interview, you're not negotiating for a job offer. You don't know where to begin there. Your job is to get the information, understand what is really going on, and then use that as the pretext of every follow-up. If we're talking about an offer, we're talking about it like I'm already ready to start. I've already thought about the logistics. We're just figuring out some housekeeping details. And I know looking at the offer, what's most important to me, what's least important to me, and I'm willing to give these up if necessary, right? How on purpose can you be? How clearly can you delineate what you're after? You're not here for a coffee clutch. You're not here for a networking meeting. You're here to make an impact. Stand for that above all else, and everything else will really fall into place. All right? Hope that is helpful, guys. If you want to go deeper into my world, visit helloanish.com right now. Do not delay. It'll be the best decision you've made all day. All right? Thank you, guys. Keep the comments coming.